Hi friends, and today we are going to discuss from AS13 Investments ICI Study Metal Practical Question number 3. So already practical question number 1 and 2 already we discussed in the previous classes, and complete theory part related to AS13 Investments, and except 3 all the remaining illustrations also we discussed, and already they have been uploaded. Please, you can watch through playlist. So today let us finish this third practical question, and after that we can finish the remaining 3 illustrations also. Okay, so and this one is also very similar to the second one. Fixed income bearing securities means debentures they purchased, and of course 2 times of purchase given, 2 times of sales given. As I said that whenever the investments are purchased, very simple, investments to bank, that's all. But whenever sale is taken place bank to investments, that is okay, but profit loss you need to work out either based on average cost basis or first in first out method. Nothing is mentioned, you may go for average cost basis, but here it is mentioned first in first out method. So in that way you can work out the profit loss. And another very important point, at the time of purchase and sale, in case of fixed income bearing securities, it should be clearly mentioned that either cum interest or ex interest. What does it mean, cum interest? Cum interest means the in the given price, when you multiply the debentures or bonds, whatever it is, that with given price, cum interest means in interest which is accrued but not due, that is included in the particular amount. Ex interest means which is not included there. And obviously while purchase you have to pay towards cost of investment as well as interest accrued but not due. Similarly while sale also you have to receive towards investments and again interest accrued but not due. Interest accrued but not due means due date is not fallen, so payment is not done, that interest also to be settled. And very simple to handle, very similar to second one. But the second problem, in the second problem we discussed, of course it was given bonds, but here it is given debentures. There is no great difference while solving the problem, debentures or bonds. But the thing is, in the earlier sum where the investments are made, they are following financial year, means September 30 interest is given to you, and March 31st is given, but we are closing books on December 31st. But whereas in this particular problem where the investments are made, they are offering interest, they are following financial year, you are also following financial year. You are going to maintain the books from April to March, and where the investments are made, and that company is also following financial year, so that therefore offering interest for every September 30 and March 31st. Okay, so these are the basic points we need to discuss while solving the sum. Let us go to the Mr. Purohit furnished the following details relating to his holdings in 8% debentures, 100 rupees each, of P Limited held as current assets. So current assets means which are intended to purchase by less than 1 year. Current assets always to be valued at cost or market price, whichever is lower. Okay, right? It is given opening balance given like this: 1/4/2011 opening balance, nominal value and cost both are given. Right? That investments account in the books of Mr. Purohit for the year ending 31st March 2012. Interest payable given for every 31st September as well as 31st March. Yearly 6 months once interest will be paid. So therefore first I would like to take the opening balance 1/4/2011. Right there, 2 balance brought down. Look at the nominal value 1,20,000. Cost incurred 1,18,000. So need not write anything in the interest column, because in the earlier sum we were following December, but the company is giving interest for every September and March. September was given, October, November, December, 3 months accrued but not due interest is there. That's why it is taken opening balance. But here you need not to take, because on 31st March interest received, and obviously that interest will go to the P&L account. So there is no any opening balance to write in the interest column. Okay, write that 1/7/2011. When investments are purchased, 100 debentures purchased at X interest at 98 rupees. So when investments are purchased, investments account at to bank account, 100 debentures each, 100. So obviously look at the nominal value. Nominal value 100 into 100, this is 10,000. 10,000. Come to the working notes. Let us calculate that. 1/7/2011 purchase of 8% debentures. 8% debentures. So 100 debentures into multiply that 98 rupees, that is 9,800. Moreover, it is given at the end, first in first out method we need to follow while selling. 1% brokerage on each and every transaction, whether purchase or sale. In case of purchase, brokerage should be added. In case of sale, brokerage should be deducted. Okay, add brokerage at the rate of 1%, 9898 brokerage. Okay, so it is given as X interest. X interest means obviously interest is not included. This amount is paid only for towards cost of investment, 9898. Okay, so interest also we need to calculate. Let us calculate the interest. Interest always to be calculated on the face value, that is 10,000 into 8% into, actually company paid on 31st March. Now we bought on July 1st, April, May, June, 3 months interest accrued but not due, that is 3/12. Let us calculate that how much interest accrued but not due in the case of purchase. Okay, that is 10,000 into 8% into 3/12. Okay, look at that, that is 200 rupees. Interest is 200 rupees. That's what you have to definitely, while purchase accrued but not due interest to be paid, no doubt at all. But X interest means in the mentioned price it is not included. You have to pay separately 200 rupees. Cum interest means 200 included in that particular multiplied price itself. Okay, clear. Look at the next transaction. On 1st October 2011, sales has taken place. Okay, but on 30th September interest due date is fallen. You have to receive the interest. So therefore 39/2011, whenever interest received bank to interest, in the interest by bank, interest always to be calculated. 1,30,000 investments we are having right now into 8% into 6 months, 6/12. Calculate the amount. 1,30,000 into 8% into 6/12. 5,200 rupees right in the interest column. Okay. Look at the next transaction, what actually happened next. That is 110/2011 sold 200 debentures each at 100 rupees. Whenever investments are sold bank to investments, in the investments by bank, 110/2011 by bank within bracket sale of investments. Look at that, 200 investments are sold. Obviously face value 20,000. Very importantly, no accrued interest is there because September 30th itself paid. October 1st, if any sales or purchase takes place, no accrued but not due interest is there. So only towards cost of investment. If you purchase, you have to pay. Obviously, if you sell, you can receive only cost of investments, but no accrued interest will be there. Therefore 200 into 100, 20,000. But very importantly, there is no write in the amount column because there is some brokerage given. As I said that brokerage in case of purchase it is to be added, but in case of sales it is to be purchase, it is to be added, sales to be deducted, but no accrued interest is there. In this particular kind of transaction, cum and X will not have any meaning. Okay, right. 110/2011 sale of 8% debentures, 200 debentures sold at 100 rupees, 20,000 minus brokerage at the rate of 1%, 200, you will get 19,800. Actually it is mentioned that as X interest, which is not included interest, we have to receive separately interest, but here no accrued but not due interest, so we will not receive anything. Right here 19,800. Calculation of profit or loss. on sale of investments. First, I would like to know cost of investment sold. How we are able to say? First in, first out mean obviously out of this we have to sell. 1,20,000 nominal value. Further cost incurred 1,18,000. Now we are selling 20,000 out of that. 20,000 cost how much? 20,000 by 1,20,000 into 1,18,000. Look at that. What is the cost for the sale of investments based on first in first out method? 20,000 divided by 1,20,000 into 1,18,000. 19,667. 19,667 and sold for 19,800. Therefore profit 133. Whenever the profit is there, the entry will be investments account data to P&L. 110 2011 to P&L, within bracket profit, write in the cost column 133. Okay, so 1st October sales actually completed. Again what happened? 1/1/2012, again purchase has taken place. Purchase of 50 debentures at 98 common trust. Investments to bank. Obviously 50 into 100, 5,000. 5,000. Again let us go to the working notes. We need to work out the purchases, but in case of purchase it is very simple to write, but in case of sale you have to work out very carefully, because we need to work out the profit or loss on sale of investments. But in case of purchase and that kind of profit loss recognition is not there. Very simple to handle in case of purchase, but sales to be done handled with care. 1/1/2012 purchase of 8% debentures. How it is? 50 debentures purchased into 98 rupees. 98 rupees, multiply that 50 into 98, 4,900. Brokerage to be added plus brokerage at the rate of 1%, 49, 1%, 4949. It is given X interest or cum interest. Cum interest means which is included element of interest. Interest to be calculated and to be deducted. Interest always to be calculated on the nominal value. 5,000 into 8% into September paid, October, November, December. 3 months accrued but not due. 3/12. 5,000 into 8% into 3/12. 100 rupees interest. That's what we can say. 4,849. 4,849 towards cost of investment. 4,849 towards cost of investment. 100 you have to pay towards interest. Okay, so that is a way to handle. And the given case, okay, so 1/1/2012 the purchase to be recorded in that way. Lastly, on February 1st again sales has taken place. Whenever investments are sold, entry bank to investments in the investments by bank. 1/2/2012 by bank, within bracket sale. Look at the 200 investments are sold. Again nominal value 20,000. Okay, again we need to work out here. That is on 1/2/2012 sale of 8% debentures, sale of 8% debentures, 200 debentures sold at 99. Okay, multiply that, 200 into 99, 1,19,800 minus brokerage 1%, 198 minus 198, 19,602, 19,602. This is given X interest, means this is not included interest to be paid separately. Therefore interest, let us calculate like this, 20,000 into 8% into September paid, October, November, December, January. This is February 1st, 4 months, 4 by 12. Therefore 20,000 into 8% into 4 by 12. This is what, 533.33. Let us say 533 rupees is the interest in the given case, sale of investments. Right there in the cost column, 19,602, interest column 533. Okay, whenever sale has taken place, obviously we have to recognize the profit or loss. Calculation of profit or loss on sale of investments. Yes, cost of investment sold. And obviously first in first out 1,20,000, earlier sold 20, again 20 sold from these investments only. Therefore 1,20,000 cost 1,18,000, 20,000 cost how much? 20,000 by 1,20,000 into 1,18,000. Therefore 20,000 divided by 1,20,000 into 1,18,000. 19,666. 19,666 we can say. Earlier we have taken 67. To adjust that we can take this time 19,666. We know that sold for 19,602. Therefore sold it lesser than the cost, so therefore there is a loss of 60. Therefore there is a loss of 64 loss. Entry P&L to investments, in the investments by P&L, within bracket loss, right in the cost column 64. Truly over. And obviously interest will go to the P&L account like income, and investments to be valued at cost or market price, whichever is lower. When market price is not given, cost itself is lower. And obviously if you take the balancing figure, they will be at cost only. Even you calculate, that only will come. Balancing figure will be available at cost, market price not mentioned, so to be valued at cost price itself. Okay, therefore we can say, first I would like to transfer, this is 1,35,000, 1,35,000. So 31st March 2012 by balance carry down 95,000. Moreover 5,200 plus 533, 5,733. Net of interest will go to P&L. 31st March 2012 to P&L account. Net of interest will go to the P&L account. That is 5,733 minus 300 minus 300. Net of interest will go to and of course even because it is a fixed income bearing security. At the end of the period, the interest what we have to receive, because books are closed exactly, and you may write here by bank within bracket interest. How interest can be calculated? 95,000 investments we are having, 95,000 into 8% into 6 months, because books closing on 31st March and you have to receive the interest on 31st March. 95,000 into 8% into 95,000 into 8% into 6 by 12. 3,800 interest what we received already, that also can be credited to interest column. 3,800. Then we can say the interest total column will be 5,200 plus 533 plus 3,800, 9,533. The net of the amount will go to P&L minus 300, that is 9,233. And obviously investments at the end of the period to be valued cost or market price, whichever is lower. No information regarding market price, so take at the cost price. Even if you go onto working notes, if you determine the cost of the remaining, the balance also will be same. Okay, so you need not to consider, just balancing figure can be taken when market price not mentioned. Balancing figure can be taken as inventory because it is available at cost price only. Therefore debit the total 1,18,000 plus 9,898 plus 133 plus 4,849, 1,32,880, 1,32,880, 1,32,880 minus 19,800 minus 19,602 minus 64. Balance is 93,414. 93,414. 93,414. Because exactly books were closing on 31st March. Even the company where the investments are made, they are also closing on 31st March. You can receive the investments, 95,000 investments you have to receive for 3,800 on the books closing date. Okay, obviously remaining investments balance carry forward, brought forward. Even cost, obviously remaining investments balancing figure equal to cost price. Even if you go to the working notes, if you determine that same amount will come, so wastage of time. So directly you can take, when market price not given, the balancing figure can be taken like simply like a cost price. Okay, 93,414. That's all. This is the simple way to work out the practical question number 3. Only 3 illustrations are left. We can discuss 3 illustrations in the next coming classes. Okay, bye.